Please avoid.
You can understand it's not been an easy morning and afternoon. I'll start with introductions. My name is Chair of Multiples to Multiple Society. On my left is Dr. Kalebi, who's the director and founder of Lancet Laboratories. And then we have Ms. Penina, who will be speaking on behalf of the family. So, as a society, we learnt about the story through the media, and thank you for exposing that. But I want to put a disclaimer that the media has not really handled this story very well, and it is unfortunate, and we want to appeal to you that these girls are still in school. The family still deserves a right to their privacy, so we would want to appeal to you to handle this story with the sensitivity that it deserves. As a society, we help cases of families that require our support. These are families who have twins, triplets, and quadruplets. And so we reached out to the family to offer the support that they needed. And at that time, they were querying the parentage, because the two girls found each other through social media, and they wanted to know about their parentage. So we came in to support in that. So the reason we are here is that the results came out some time back, but since the girls are still in school, we advised the family that it would be good to have these results released when they were on midterm, and then from there, then they proceed with their education. So the results were released to them this morning, and I will hand over to Dr. Ahmed Kalebi, who's the pathologist and whose laboratory undertook these results. I think there were questions about the offer that had been made by Kemri to perform DNA results, but at the time when we interacted with them, there were a bit of complications because Kemri required a DCI report, and we felt the mental state of the family at that time required the DNA results to be performed immediately, which is why we chose the reputable institution of Lancet Pathologists Kenya. So we are going to handle this press in this way. We will have the pathologist share the summary of the results, and you can ask him the technical side of things.
So, as Dr. Wala has said, we actually had the results out within 2 weeks, but we did not revisit to anyone, not even to Dr. Wala herself, because I knew she would be under pressure from you guys. Normally what happens with DNA tests, and I'll explain briefly sort of our background. Most of the time we do paternity tests. Most people know about paternity tests, and paternity test is where you're trying to establish whether a man is the father to a particular alleged child. And in most cases then we'll take the DNA profile of the mother, and when we talk about profiling, we are looking at specific regions inside the DNA, and those regions which look at differences or similarities between people. As you guys all know, a child gets their DNA from the mother and the father, half-half, and for you to be able to say that's the child of a particular person, a mother or a father, it means they must have at least half of that person's DNA matching with theirs. So basically we're looking at the DNA profile of one individual and matching it to somebody else who is said to be the parent to that person. So that is usually the DNA paternity for fatherhood. But we can also do what we call DNA maternity to determine whether somebody is a mother, and we can do DNA kinship studies to determine whether two individuals are related. So Dr. Wala reached out to me, I think it was on a Saturday. Obviously we are a private lab, and we can't do things necessarily for free unless it's a CSR, of which this one was not quite a CSR in my view. So they had to go raise money, but we did the analysis anyway, even as they were raising the money. The samples, I have a summary for you guys, which I'll share with you. So the samples are collected on the 19th of April 2019, there is a very rigorous process by which we collect samples, making sure what we call chain of, because of the, if it is a legal case, if it's a court-ordered case, or it's a criminal investigation. But if it is requested by an individual, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kemri and government chemists, they are probably anything between 8 and 10,000 per individual, which means multiple individuals you multiply. So if it's 3 individuals times 3, like that. Yeah. Paternity test costs in the market anything between 15 and... As I said when I started, mainly from our paternity testing. Man, no, this is our child. They had no doubt. Maybe they're immigrating to Canada or Australia, so they came here to do paternity testing because of the requirement for immigration. Only to be shocked that it's not their child. And you'll have sworn that, and later when we investigated, you find out actually they're not related. So phenotype, what's the outward appearance, is not usually accurate, and that's why we don't even consider it. Ile maneno ya masikio imekaa kama nani, pua imekaa kama nani, rangi yake, those things don't apply. It's almost basically like a toss of coin, 50-50. I can tell you, it's almost like a 50% chance that you got it right. So, are you the child of your father? Without testing, I can say 50%. If I did a blood group, maybe I can increase that to 70-80%. But you can't be definite unless you do a DNA test. Now, how many cases do we do DNA tests and the person doesn't look like the person whom we are saying they are related to? We see so many. So many. I mean, it happens almost every day. Guys like you walk here and they say, this is not my child, and when you do the test, it's their child. Because hakuna kitu hata moja imefanana. So phenotype is not reliable. Genotyping is reliable. Yeah.
Sharon. Mimi baba